She bragged about her banana in Cancun. So I made sure her affair was no longer a secret. The first red flag didn't wave, it whispered. My wife, Melina, had just returned from a solo trip to Cancun. A getaway she said was to recharge her mental batteries after months of corporate stress. I didn't question it. Why would I? We'd been married 8 years, and trust was the one thing I thought we had nailed down. But as she unpacked, sitting cross-legged on the bed with her tan lines peeking out from under her shirt, she casually said something that stuck with me. I had the most delicious banana while I was down there. That would have been harmless, funny even, if not for the way she said it. Her voice dipped into something smug. Her eyes sparkled in a way that didn't match the innocence of the sentence. I chuckled at the time, assuming it was a local dessert or some tropical fruit stand indulgence. But deep down, it left an aftertaste of doubt I couldn't shake. That night, as she slept beside me, I sat in the living room staring at her phone. I hated myself for even holding it. I always believed going through someone's phone was crossing a line, a betrayal of privacy. But the unease was eating at me. I guessed her passcode, our wedding anniversary combined with her birth year. It unlocked on the first try. And just like that I stepped off the cliff. In her photo gallery, hidden behind an innocuous-looking app disguised as a travel planner, was a locked album. When I opened it, my hands went cold. Dozens of photos, some playful, some intimate. All of them of her with a man I'd never seen before. A lean, muscular guy with caramel skin, tattoos, and sunglasses perched on his head. In some photos, she was sitting on his lap, her bikini barely covering anything. In others, they were in a hammock, laughing with drinks in hand. But it was the captions that shattered me. Best banana I've ever had. Worth every lie. Can't wait to go back for another taste. It wasn't just betrayal, it was joy. Celebration. She wasn't ashamed. She was proud. I didn't wake her. I didn't confront her. I just sat there, feeling everything I thought we would turn into something bitter and broken. But I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I started planning. Setup. First, I identified the man, Luis Herrera. She had saved his number under the name, Marta Travel Agent. A reverse search led me to his Instagram. He was a bartender at a trendy beach club in Cancun. His feed was full of flirtatious posts, shirtless selfies, and comments from dozens of women. Melina had fallen for the walking cliché. The beachside Casanova who flirted for tips and used charm like a currency. But the story wasn't over. Scrolling through his profile, I discovered something she hadn't. Luis had a girlfriend. A local woman named Sophia, a kindergarten teacher who frequently posted photos of their quiet life together. Sunsets, home-cooked meals, classroom crafts. She had no idea what kind of man she was loving. That's when my idea crystallized. I wouldn't just confront Melina. I'd dismantle the fantasy she'd built. The birthday bombshell. Melina's birthday was coming up. 2 weeks away. I played the role of the doting husband. Smiled. I kissed her goodnight. I pretended I didn't know. All while downloading every piece of evidence. Screenshots, photos, even a few voice notes she'd sent him. I also reached out to Sophia. I sent her a respectful message, apologizing for the intrusion, and then slowly laid out what I'd found. At first, she didn't believe me. But when I sent her the evidence, she called me in tears. We talked for nearly an hour. She deserved the truth. When Melina's birthday came, we hosted a small dinner. Her parents, a few of our closest friends. I even gave her a silver locket, something she'd admired years ago but never bought for herself. She was radiant, glowing with joy, thinking I'd done all this out of love. Then I stood up for a toast. I just want to thank everyone for being here, I began. It's been a tough year, but tonight is about celebration. Melina, you've always said birthdays should be unforgettable, so I got you something unforgettable. I pulled out an envelope. She took it puzzled. Her smile vanished the moment she opened it. Her fingers trembled as she flipped through printed screenshots. Her texts with Luis, the intimate selfies, the captions. What is this?" she asked, voice shaking. "It's your banana, Melina," I said, my voice calm but cold. "The one you couldn't stop talking about. Now everyone gets to see how tasty it really was." Her mother's hand flew to her mouth. Her father stood up, furious. One of our friends pushed their chair back in shock. But I wasn't done. "And it's not just me you betrayed," I continued. "Luis's girlfriend deserved to know too." I held up my phone and played a short video, a Zoom recording of my conversation with Sophia. I had explained everything, shown her the proof, and she had promised to handle her end. Her face in the video was heartbroken but also strong. Melina just stared, speechless. I didn't wait for an explanation. I walked away. The trip to Cancun. The next morning I flew to Cancun. I walked into the beach club where Luis worked. He was behind the bar, shirtless, laughing with a group of young tourists. He didn't recognize me at first, until I dropped the folder of photos on the bar. "Recognize her?" asked loudly. "That's my wife." Luis froze. He tried to laugh it off. "Man, I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't lie to me," I cut in. "And don't worry. Your boss will know soon enough what kind of guy he hired." The manager approached, drawn by the tension. I calmly handed him a copy of the evidence. His face fell as he flipped through the pages. Luis was fired on the spot. And still I wasn't done. The confrontation. Outside, Luis tried to brush past me. But when he shoved me, something in me snapped. All the humiliation, all the betrayal, the long nights staring at the ceiling wondering what I'd done wrong, poured out. I didn't hold back. He landed the first push. I landed the rest. By the time I was done, he was on the pavement, bloody, dazed, and no longer the grinning charmer from Instagram. "Don't ever touch another man's wife," I spat before walking away. The aftermath. Back home, Melina's life began to crumble. Her parents were livid, especially her father. They stopped speaking to her. Our mutual friends, once loyal to both of us, cut her off. No one respected the lies she tried to spin. She begged for forgiveness. She cried. She wrote letters. But I'd already made my choice. I filed for divorce the moment I landed back home. As for Sophia, she kicked Luis out. She posted the evidence publicly on social media, warning others. His charm couldn't protect him anymore. His reputation in the community was done. I live alone now. The house is quiet. Sometimes it's too quiet. But it's honest. I no longer wonder what's being said behind my back. I no longer second-guess every smile, every story. That gnawing doubt. Melina and Luis both got exactly what they deserved. And I got something far more valuable than revenge.